Hi guys, Penny Rose Journals, how you doing? Okay, simple project today. I have taken paper bags, I have torn them down, I have stuck them face to face so the logos are hidden. Then I have these sort of nice sheets of almost card-like brown paper. I'm just going to stamp on them. I'm going to stamp a postcard on them. I have these two stamps here. They are just two different type of postcard backs, if you like. I'm going to use those to basically stamp all over these sheets. I have some that I've made previously out of other sheets and some out of old manila folder that's been out in the sun. We'll pull those in shortly, but these ones I'm just going to stamp now, and then we'll eventually cut them apart and use them. Okay, that's them all stamped out. I'm just going to pop those aside. I will cut them out and use them today, but first we're going to use these ones that I already had in my stash. If I have a bit of scrap that's big enough, I often stamp one of these out and just cut it out around the corners and pop it in my sort of folders off to my right hand side here. Yeah, that way I can just grab one if I need one. So yeah, we're going to decorate a few of these up and then we'll move on and decorate the others with something else. And I've got some finished little items to put in a stash, and they can just be popped in a journal as a journal card. What I'm using here to decorate these up a little is basically an item number. These were all previously stamped and just floating around in my room. I sort of dug them out and I'm just stapling a film slide to them. These are the little pieces of film that you will find in a slide. I've altered the slides to use them for something else, and I have all these little pieces of film. So I'm just going to staple these together and stick them down to this postcard just to give it a little bit of something. Alright, well, just to make sure they're pressed down nicely and stick very well, I'm going to pop them under my mat while I finish off the rest. I'm going to cut all these out around the corners, ink them, and then find something to stick on them in a similar way. I want to do something different than the film and the little item number, so I'll have a fossick around and see what I can find in my little boxes. Okay, for this lot I decided to go with a bit more of a sweet and botanical look, so I have found these little flower doodles that I have a box of, and a little box of love hearts that have been made out of my confetti paper, and I am just going to staple those together and stick them down. So yeah, something a bit more bright and decorative than the slides and item numbers that we had before. So a very simple way you can get a very different look with basically the same, the same base and just some little items that you have on hand. So yeah, I'm just going to stick these ones on, and at the very end I will leave you with some stills so that you can see what our final product ended up like. I quite like all of these actually. I like the sort of almost museum piece or industrial looking film slide ones, and I also enjoy these little decorative botanical and heart ones. So yeah, just depends what kind of look you're going for, really. Now, there's no need to use staples for this if you're one of those people that does not enjoy staples. I have no problem with staples showing. I quite like them. Yeah, if a staple is front and centre in something that I've made, I don't usually have an issue with it. You can always glue something else over the top of your staple if you prefer that, or you can just forego the staple entirely and just glue these pieces together. So you could even sew them together if you really want to fiddle around with tiny little things like this. But what I am doing today is just popping a staple in. So yeah, whatever you prefer is definitely the way you should do it. Once they're all stapled, I'm just going to glue them all down and our project is done. So yeah, a very, very simple way to use up some brown paper bag and build up your stash of ephemera for, future journals. I hope you enjoyed this today, guys. Thanks so much for spending your time with me. I appreciate you as always. Have yourselves a great day. I'll see you again next time. Bye.